Louis Kahn was born on February 20th, 1901. He emigrated to the US when he was a child and eventually studied architecture at the University of Pennsylvania. He started his own firm in 1935 after traveling throughout Europe developing his own style. His work is modernist and monumental, with emphasis on materiality and influenced by classical architectural forms combined with modern techniques.
In 1965, Louis Kahn built the Salk Institute in San Diego, California. The building focuses on the materiality of concrete and wooden paneling. Later in 1974, Louis Kahn designed the Indian Institute of Management. He implemented the concept of the cycloid as well as classical influences of geometrical forms. After the Kimbell was built, Louis Kahn received his biggest commission in 1982 to design the National Assembly building in Bangladesh. This design integrated Kahn's use of materiality, monumentality, and contextualization.
The Kimbell Art Museum is located in the Museum District in Fort Worth. It's surrounded by the Will Rogers Memorial Center, the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth, Renzo Piano's addition to the Kimbell Museum in 2013, along with residences, a health center, and more galleries.
The approach to the museum removes the user from the busy and noisy environment surrounding it and immerses them in a peaceful experience through the use of fountains and natural elements.
One of the signature aspects of Kahn's design is the use of the cycloid arch. He uses this as a method of diffusing light while also creating served and servant spaces that organize the program of the museum.
Louis Kahn places an emphasis on materiality through the use of concrete and stone masonry. This references classical architecture while fitting into the urban context. The use of materials also doubles as a temperature moderator and light regulator.
Louis Kahn emphasizes the idea that form follows function, creating a series of interconnected bays that follow the use of the arch. Kahn manipulates these spaces through the dynamic interplay of the shading system. Shading is added or removed depending on the program of the space, allowing for more control through lighting.
Kahn creates an interior-exterior relationship through the continuity of materials and breaking up the cycloid arch as it plays with the ideas of refuge and prospect. This allows for a courtyard experience within the space. Kahn replicates the feelings of tranquility generated by the initial approach through the fountains and vegetation in the courtyards.
The Kimbell Museum is a culmination of Louis Kahn's finest qualities. His implementation of the cycloid arch, materiality, and monumentality references his previous work while still forming a unique experience that is prevalent in his iconic style. The museum not only contributes to the architecture of Fort Worth, but also to the field internationally as a prolific example of modern architecture. Thanks.
And Giga.